Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's summer, and it's a Friday. And last night, I guess some people let it all out.
We're having a good time. It's been great being out here. We're getting a lot of stuff done. We're not having as good of a time as our friends in Montreal, maybe.
They looked very excited last night.
They were pretty charged up after a big win last night. But good for them.
No, you want to harness that energy, although it did get a little explosive, I think. But
quite literally.
But speaking on that note, over here we always like to talk about all of this kind of green electric future, but we talk about energy a lot because that's usually the backbone of most most civilizations, countries, nations, whatever you want to call it, is your energy source. And right now, of course, everyone knows that's in flux. There's the obvious big push away from fossil fuels towards greener, pastures, I suppose. But in our ever search for interesting stories, and I want to give a shout to Mainstream News, the Financial Post here, and they've been doing a good job because they've actually had a couple mining articles out there talking about critical metals, the need for the correct supply chain. How are we getting all of these materials that we need that are absolutely critical for the future? One of these articles that came across was, and it's a great clickbait title, but it's "The Last Energy Source We'll Ever Tame." And this is a BC startup for a $400 million UK plant to harness nuclear fusion technology. And of course, it's in partnership with Jeff Bezos and Cenovus Energy, and it's a company called General Fusion, and it's looking to basically, create a star on Earth with its nuclear fusion technology, and it's going to be, it emits no carbon. It's a huge possibility. We're early. We're definitely ahead of the curve on this one, because I think they're saying commercialization, if everything goes according to milestones and plans, is 2030. But I wanted to bring it up because here's something that a lot of people have been working on for a long time.
Yeah, and it's a really interesting play because if it works out kind of the way they've designed it and set it up, the idea is that this nuclear fusion, which is essentially fusing together hydrogen atoms rather than what we see in typical nuclear power where you're splitting those atoms, what that's causing is a massive amount of energy, a massive amount of fuel that's equivalent. 1 pound of this energy is equivalent to about 10 million pounds of coal.
Is it 10 million? Is 10 million pounds of coal? Something like that. It's something pretty outlandish. So, that's pretty exciting. You can see the potential there. So whether or not this comes to fruition, they hit their numbers, we like to talk about it because along with, your vanadium redox batteries, along with all the copper you need, this whole battery storage and how you're getting your sources of energy, it's critical. And all of these things are happening. And I like to point out, because not only is it a BC story, and every once in a while we tip our hat to quantum computing coming out of Burnaby, BC as well. Sitting out there in quiet little Burnaby, BC is this company here, who is once again, as I said, on the forefront of technology and innovation here in Canada. And we wish them obviously all the best. This is a government-funded thing. Not only because Jeff Bezos, which is basically everything he's done is government-funded, but also the Canadian government, I think, has put about $100 million in grants into this. And for obvious reasons, because once again, you're talking energy. If it's all private, then it brings up that, should it be the people? Should it be a country? Should it be this? Who's going to own this energy? But it's fascinating. So we'll have a lot of lead up time as to how the story develops.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see how it all shakes out and if they're able to actually hit these targets that they want. But on the surface, it looks like a great idea because from an emission standpoint, the only thing that you're actually getting is helium being emitted out of these reactors. And there's no radioactive waste involved with it, so there's no real harm. Other than I don't know the technicalities, unless these guys can accidentally blow themselves up while they're making this. But other than that, it seems, at least on the surface, like a very promising potential project to reshape the way that we are harnessing and using energy.
Yes, and that's at the end of it. That's what we're really looking at, and it's another long-term project that's going on. They're only at the assembly stage, but it's newsworthy. We're not going to go into too much detail because you're talking 10 years out. But along the way, this is what's happening, and this is just another positive story someone could follow and look into to see what on the good side is being done. Never mind all of the work that's been done with lithium, with vanadium. That's still being touted as a huge opportunity there. And we just want to keep you informed. So that's a great article that's come along the way. And I think we want to keep today, fairly quick because we're coming into summer, and people want to kind of enjoy their longer weekends here that the nice weather's out. And I think we also want to just touch base on a lot of changes that we're making over here because we're growing pretty quick. And we want, we've given out a lot of information, and we're always going to provide lots of educational material. And we got a lot of questions too, like, in regards to if every company you have on, is that something you're buying?
Yeah.
Or is this every company you're working with? Or is this, no, it's not. We try to get as much of a broad spectrum of, we'd like to have fun companies on, brokers on, different companies that we have nothing to do with that just are really interesting, or it's someone has an interesting angle on this, that, and everything, and we just want to present it to you. Or they just might have their own experience so people can learn, this is how this industry works. Yeah,
well, we're almost addicted in a sense to these unique stories and having these exciting guests on to chat to them. And that's not going to change in any way. We're going to continue doing that. But it's important that we're highlighting that we're not necessarily always buying these companies. These aren't the ones that we're all the way in on. We might, and there's been times where we've talked to someone from a company and gone, dude, I think we need to buy that.
Yes. Yeah. No, I've had a couple where I was literally like, I'm talking to them, I'm like opening my account and ready to buy because they're that convincing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes someone will call me, just say, hey, Andrew, have you talked with XYZ over at this? There's that many companies. And I've got my kind of targets laser focused on the ones that I like. And we've not only hinted, we've flat out told you that our July newsletter that's coming out is going to highlight what I have been buying, what I like with my model and my risk tolerance and personality and whatnot. And we're going to share that with people.
Yeah.
But we are reforming the way we're moving forward.
Yeah, so kind of just to lay it out, the path forward is going to look a little different post the summer, I believe. We'll kind of be pivoting into a bit more of a closed off for our personal picks and stuff like that. So the show is going to stay the same. We're still going to be doing Stock Talk. We're going to still have awesome guests on talking about their companies, talking about their projects, what they're looking at, what they think the path forward is, how that fits into the way we're viewing things. But for our actual picks for the actual website, it's going to be moving behind a subscription wall.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to be a subscriber to the website to actually get the info on what you and I are buying, what we think. In particular, Andrew, but I'll be throwing some cool picks and stuff in there for you guys to keep your eyes on as well. So that's kind of the main outline of the path forward. So I think it's going to be an exciting move as well.
I think it's the right move. And I'll just kind of let people know, when I first started this about 4 years ago, part of me thought that, well, I've got a background in this. I worked at Merrill Lynch. My resume looks really strong. I've done a lot of interesting projects. Great. There should be people that would want to follow me because, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but there's, I would say, very few people, whether they're young or old, that are commenting in this space, whether it's meme stocks or other newsletter writers that have ever worked at a brokerage firm or worked at an investment bank. So you have to kind of take that in part. So I wanted to make sure that I'd had some big wins. I had some, stuff that I was touting, that I was talking about, to kind of bolster people's confidence to go, oh, wow, okay, he's charged onto the scene. He's worked with, Great Bear, Tudor Gold, X-Row, Desert Mountain Energy. These ones are pretty easy to go find out, all the videos, all the talks we've done. I see the success there. So now it's time to turn on to go, those people that have done exceptionally well, that are happy, obviously they're already on our side, they're already subscribed, they're already part of the team. And we want to make sure that we're engaging those people who really are wanting that type of access. I guess that's what we're saying. Yeah, and getting the right people involved as well, and people who are motivated to be not just kind of looking at this and thinking it's a cool idea, but actively buying those stocks, actively supporting those companies, and then applying that method to their own reasoning as well, and taking that and looking and saying, okay, well, Andrew and Austin like looking at it this way. I have a little different take on it. I'm interested in a little bit of different things, but I can still apply their model. And that, of course, ties into the course, which will be launching out in the next couple of weeks here. It's ready to go. Yeah. We're just figuring out a launch strategy to get that rolled out. So no, it's super exciting kind of way forward that we're looking at doing things here. The important thing to note is
YouTube's not changing. We're still going to have awesome content, whether it's you one-on-one with some CEOs, whether we've got them on the show, whether I'm doing some separate videos and stuff as well here. So that's not really changing. The YouTube stuff's going to all be there for everyone to access, but the website, the real core of the content is going to be behind a subscription wall. Get involved, get subscribed, and you're going to get all the access to that exciting information.
Yeah, and also just to clarify too, there'll be a subscription wall. There'll be still a free subscription wall. So you have to subscribe, but it's not going to charge you anything. There will be a paywall as well, but that's a little bit down the line, maybe even as well. But what we're saying is we need there to be a commitment by people.
Exactly.
Because we're getting a lot of requests for, can you do a video on this? Can you do a video on that? And we're going to do that.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that it gets to the people. They're getting notified that, we did the video on how to open an account with Wealthsimple. I mean, everything from the basic kind of how do I get started into this to what's your take on XYZ or
nuclear fusion.
Can you get us a little bit more information on this? Who are the companies that are involved? Or can you give us a rundown on one or two of the picks, a bit more detail? That I'm not going to provide just out in a video. Yeah. We want to be specifically people that are interested and that really want to know. And then we can engage with them. And that's at the end of the day, that's what we're building over here is a community of people that see some of the content. They're really excited and they want to reach out. And we've given a big lead up time to that. And just want to let people know that's the case. We're hitting into summer. So we want to make sure we get the best content we can for those that really are charged up about what we're into. It's
going to be exciting because especially as we come towards the end of the summer, move into the fall, things are going to really start ramping up on our end as well. So there's going to be, from where we're sitting at now from a content perspective, I think we can expect that to accelerate as we move into the fall. We'll be seeing more stuff. I mean, obviously drilling season for mining is right around the corner, if not already starting in some places. So there'll be exciting results coming out that we'll have to talk about. We're going to have guys who you've seen in the past few months coming back on to update us on their projects, guys that, and like we said, guys that we just like the stories, guys that we are actively buying their stocks. So that'll be super exciting as well. But important for you guys to engage with us as well. So get in the comments section, send us emails, let us know what you want to see, be part of the actual community. That's what we want to be actively engaging with, is the strong basis of supporters that we have, is harnessing that into letting you guys kind of influence the content that we're making as well, and helping us tune the message that you're wanting to hear. And if there's stories that you think are awesome, send them my way, send them Andrew's way. We'll take a look at them. If we get as excited as you are about them, we'll definitely talk about them. We'll definitely see if we can get these guys on to chat to us as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because we do get messages from people and they say, hey, I'm so glad I follow XYZ company and I know this person. And they'll say, have you looked at this company? And more times I would not. I'm like, yeah, I know that one. And then we'll try to get them on. Yeah. So, I mean, this is how we work. This is how things are going. And we want that to be the case so that the people that are actually really engaging with us, we know that we're giving them what they want. And at the end of the day, I mean, if we're not giving you the topics and the information, we're not doing our job. Exactly. And it can't be all just about returns. I mean, I could easily fall back on it and just go walk you through tons of great returns. But that's not what I want this to be about anyway, because this is much more than that. It's about lining up your values along with creating some value, some growth. And it's more than just getting a rate of return, because that's, quite frankly, I've said it before, it's not easy to make money in the stock market. It's easy to make money in general. It's not the hardest thing in the world to do. It's not very interesting. It's not compelling. It's not, money for money's sake is, quite frankly, kind of boring. And not to bang on Jeff Bezos a bit, but that kind of money is, I don't even find it admirable or anything. It's kind of disgusting. Yeah. But you want to make enough money so you can do cool stuff. You can go travel. You can do whatever, have the lifestyle you want. That's not a ton of money, actually, quite honestly. For most people, that's not a ton of money. So if you can make good money and you're waking up every day and you're taking active steps towards the life that you want, and a life that you want for your family, for your kids, for your grandkids, for the future, and you have that all aligned, so those values you're putting your money towards and your time towards, the projects, the people, the things that you really have respect for, that's a much better day. And it's easier to go to bed at night than say, I just want to make money for money's sake, and then worry about, I'll feel better in 15 years when I start a charity, and then I'll try and do some good. which is kind of the billionaire.
Yeah, exactly, the billionaire. or when I launch myself into outer space and sell seats on that plane for $28 billion.
Yeah. So yeah, we want to give you just the lowdown on what's happening, and keep this one a bit shorter today. But we want to thank you for the big growth that we've had, and encourage you some more to get involved, and let's keep on growing.
Like, subscribe to the videos, get engaging with the content, subscribe to the website. It's extremely important. We can't stress it enough. That July newsletter, the summer newsletter, I guess we're calling it, is going to be the last free one. It's going to be the last time that you're going to get to know our picks before we.
There's some big ones.
And there's some super big ones in there. There's some ones that we're very excited about, short term and long term as well. So get engaged, subscribe, like, comment. Let us know what you're thinking. And we look forward to hearing from you guys, engaging with you guys more, and looking forward to the next few months. It's going to be really exciting.
Excellent. All right. Well, enjoy your weekend, everyone. Take care.